There is a whole world of cinema waiting to be discovered. You just have to overcome that 1-inch barrier known as subtitles. This is That 1-Inch Barrier, a podcast dedicated to foreign language films from all around the world. My name is Kieran Griffiths and joined as always by my lovely co-host. One has a last name that makes him sound more fancy than he actually is, and the other has two first names, which means I automatically don't trust him. It's Nick Labaro and Josh Barry. Gentlemen, brilliant. How are we?
Very good. You have the best.
I'm loving
intros.
these intros.
Your intros are the best, and we need to step up our game.
We
this
actually do.
This is great.
Yeah. I'm going to run out eventually, but let's enjoy it while it lasts.
Yes.
You nailed my last name, but that's exactly right. I sound sophisticated. Libero. And then you look at me and he's like, like
El Barrow.
El Barrow. What's that short for? Wheelbarrow.
This is what happens when you order a Frenchman from Wish.
Nugget. Anyway, it's your pick this week.
It is my pick. And as we said on the last episode, we are going back to India for our second trip there. We had a lot of fun with our first trip, which was for Lagan.
Yeah.
A 3.5-hour film about colonialism and cricket, which, you know, what a great
The
combo.
two C's that built Australia.
That's
so,
it.
Yeah.
There's also we can really connect with that, I feel.
Yeah, true.
But going back to India for something very, very different, and that is the 2014 film PK.
Yeah.
Synopsis of which is, an alien on Earth loses the only device he can use to communicate with his spaceship. His innocent nature and childlike questions force the country to evaluate the impact of religious views on people.
Is this the first science fiction film we've done? In a way.
I'd have to look back through the list, but there's not a lot of science fiction that's coming
Or
to
that
mind.
that I can think, like, not that this is necessarily a science fiction film, but the premise is
The main character is an alien.
Yeah, so it's kind of rooted in
He
science
looks
fiction.
like an Indian man, but
He's an alien.
He's an
yeah,
alien.
Yeah. He has the pendant
what
and
a
the
coincidence
spaceship.
that he just happens to land in India.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's the magic of movies.
But it's also, we haven't done a lot of comedy as well.
That's true.
And I feel like, as we kind of talked about, comedy is very
We just
divisive.
did You the Living.
That's true. It was the funniest discussion we had
You
on the
love
show.
that.
The comedy from You the Living was just you playing a prank on me. That was the real joke.
Yeah.
And that was hilarious. We hope you enjoyed that episode.
But I think that kind of talks about the difference in comedy in terms of, like, you know, how tied up it is in national identity and cultural differences and things like that.
For sure.
But this is very much, I think, first and foremost comedy.
Yes.
I don't think there's any, you know, you can talk about drama and science fiction, a little bit of romance, and it's a Bollywood, so there's musical numbers and dancing, but it's very much first and foremost a comedy.
I would agree. Yeah,
I feel.
absolutely.
This is our second film with Amir Khan in it. He was the protagonist in Lagan as well. For those who aren't familiar, the man is the Indian equivalent of, you know, Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, Leo.
He's their A-list star.
Yeah, and he does everything.
Yes.
You know, he does romance, he does action, he
Versatile
does comedy.
actor,
You can't escape him. But I'm very grateful for it because I think, spoiler alert, he's great. He's great in this as well. He was great in Lagan. And he was great as well in 3 Idiots, which was directed by the same director as this.
Yes.
Okay.
So another very famous sort of Indian comedy that came out probably about 5 or 10 years before this.
Okay.
That's really high on IMDb. I feel like it's in like top
50
10 or 20 or something.
Yeah, it's
really
definitely up there. I think that was why I watched it.
Yeah.
And that was my first experience with Indian and Bollywood cinema, and I loved it. I was like, this has everything.
Yeah.
You know? Have you guys watched much other Indian cinema other than Lagan, which we watched on the show?
Certainly not a lot.
Not a lot.
I have watched the odd Bollywood film here and there. I couldn't tell you what they were called.
Yeah.
But not much at all. Like, this might be about my 4th ever.
It really seemed like the only other one that really springs to mind is Triple R. But that
Oh,
became a
yeah.
global success.
Actually
So that
love
was the
that.
thing that kind of transcended Bollywood and became a whole different beast of its own. So no, it's definitely like an untouched area for my film watching, for sure.
But I mean, it's a huge film economy.
Oh, big time.
You know, you've got the
Oh,
US,
massive.
obviously in Hollywood, and you have the Chinese cinema that's become massive in sort of the last decade.
Yep.
But Bollywood is huge.
And has been for a long time.
Yeah.
And I think probably in maybe the last, 10 or 20 years has really started to penetrate into, our kind of audiences.
So, like, funnily enough, you bring that up. So, not to shout out loud the podcast, but
It took him how long?
the World of Screens podcast, every week we do the box office top 5 in Australia. And anytime there is any Indian language, whether it's Hindi language or Tamil language release, usually cracks the top 5, maybe the top 10.
Yeah.
So there's a huge market for it in Australia as well. They normally release on a Friday. They'll play for about 3 or 4 days, but all of those sessions will be sold out, and it will make, I think the last one we did made like $700,000 in its opening weekend, which in Australian box office terms is a reasonably strong opening. So
for an Indian film that's only open for a few days.
We don't see like trailers for they don't play the trailers for it like before the latest blockbuster. And stuff.
Event cinemas do a lot of them.
Event cinemas pretty much do all of them. I know Dendy do a couple as well, but like Event cinemas is huge for Asian Indian cinema. And
Australia has a pretty significant Asian and Indian
population. Absolutely.
So it makes sense.
Yeah,
we're a very multicultural country, and I think it's great that people can see these films from their own countries in our cinemas.
It is great. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
I get to go to the British Film Festival.
Something for everyone.
Yeah,
something for everyone.
I can watch more white people movies. Because there aren't enough of those.
Anemone coming soon to the British Film Festival.
But I probably haven't watched much. I still haven't seen Triple R.
Yeah,
I do know the impact that had the year it came out.
Yeah.
But I've loved almost every Indian film I've seen.
Yeah.
They're very much an acquired taste, I do feel, because they are so different to what we're used to.
They're so heightened. Yeah. They live in a different reality.
Yeah. Where people doing backflips and breaking out into
There's an energy to it. There's such a charming, aggressive energy to it that you cannot help but be engaged by. I spent 90% of PK like grinning from ear to ear, not because I thought it was a really good film. I don't think it's the best film I've made, but I was having so much fun because there is so much energy in front of the camera, behind the camera. You can tell everyone's like having a good time making it, like they kind of love what they do. And you can't help, it's like infectious. It kind of feels that way when
they feel like theater.
Yes.
They feel like old movies.
Yes.
Like
kind
old Hollywood style.
Yeah, exactly.
When
kind of
was
that
a bit campy.
Exactly. A little bit over the top.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you mentioned that because I know that for the performance as the titular PK, which translates to drunk or tipsy.
They call him tipsy. My subtitles said tipsy on it.
So, that's what people keep referring to him as.
Because they think he's drunk.
So they call him, they say, are you tipsy? And he's like, well, yes, how do you know? So that's why he gets the name PK. But for that role, it was very much inspired by Charlie Chaplin.
You can tell. There's a physicality to what Amir Khan's doing that is so slapstick comical.
I was going to say, this is, when you were saying comedy, it's slapstick without being the physical slapstick.
It's not like the Three Stooges, like bonked, or like going around, but there is such a physical comedy to everything. Yeah.
And there's some really funny dialogue as well.
Yeah, I think so. I think some of the conversations are hilarious.
Yeah.
Especially when it gets into the weeds of it all, which is like, this is a movie breaking down the idea that religion is a sham, but faith is okay. Like, that's kind of what the thesis of the movie is.
Yeah.
It's funny, like, to have such an innocent character. Because, like, PK is like a child, ultimately. Because he's come to Earth and he sees, like, 7 different religions and then, like, one guru who's, like, super, like, just a piece of shit, I guess, is the only way I can describe it.
Typical, like, American megachurch pastor.
It's like, it doesn't...
like, he's got millions of dollars and he's preaching about how we should, help the poor, and he's never donated a cent in his life. He's the Indian version of that.
Literally. And then PK comes in with this real childlike innocence in being like... Because all he wants to do is go home. And it's this whole idea of like, well, everyone tells me I should ask God for help, but there's like 7 different versions of this God. And it's just this like really fun. So when he's pointing out like the hypocrisies of religion, not faith, it's funny. It's so because you sit there and go like, I grew up religious, so it's funny for me to sit there and be like, oh, this is exactly what I think. I don't know about you guys if you grew up religious or not, but like for me, this movie I thought was fucking hilarious like, in that regard because it was my thought process when I decided to not be religious anymore. And at least some really funny conversation and just really like his such pointed like matter of factness about it, but from that innocent lens is really funny to listen to.
Yeah. No, it's nothing groundbreaking in terms of like, it's that very much, again, childlike, like when you get to 13 and you realize that religion is all a load of shit.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, but why is, there's 7 different religions with, 28 different gods and, these ones. And he says this, he's like, you say that I can't eat before sunrise and you say I can't eat after sunrise and you're saying I need to avoid eating a cow because it's sacred and you're saying I need to kill the cow.
The key, religion is fashion.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
It's all
Religion
just
is
what he
fashion.
Say,
Yeah, he's like,
That's such a funny scene as
you
well.
humans don't have labels on you that tell you what religion
know.
you're assigned to at birth. You just pick it and you dress
And he's
like
like
it.
pointing out sort of the archaic nature of it as well. Like we've evolved so much as a society where it's like, do we have to? I have a friend who's still a Christian, and he's a devout Christian, but he's very much like he doesn't like the idea of religion because he's like it should be a personal relationship between you and your God, and it shouldn't be based on these like old rules of an old society where we were like, they were doing some pretty fucking fucked up shit back then. That should determine, and that's what this movie points out.
It's what this movie's saying.
In a really funny
Yeah,
way.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty, brave, for lack of a better term, for an Indian film.
Yes.
Totally.
To be making a film with a very mainstream star and director.
Yeah.
That's breaking down all these barriers of religion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
In a
even stuff
very
like sort of these-
devoutly religious country.
and like into religion marriages as well, because our other main character, she's Indian, she falls in love with a guy from Pakistan. That's two
That's
countries
a
that very
conflict
much
in the film.
do not get along.
Yeah.
And she's told that she can't be with him.
Yep.
So there's like all these different things. It's like, wow, for a mainstream film in India to be doing this.
It's pretty,
And maybe
brave
that's
is
a
the right
reflection
word.
of me that I think it's shockingly progressive.
Sure.
But I think it's pretty.
I definitely, while watching it, thought this is a brave thing
It'd
to
be
be done in
interesting
India.
to see how many other Indian films maybe have done it or haven't done it as well. Like our litmus probably isn't as strong with only having seen a handful. But I had the same reaction. I was sitting there going like, oh wow, this seems
There might
like
be
forward
others
thinking.
that do it like subtle with a like bits and bats.
This
but
is straight out saying it.
really, yeah.
he's
this
saying
is-
the quiet part out loud.
yeah,
throughout the whole
very
film.
much so. Yeah,
But that's when that's like it's the perfect opportunity to do it when you have a character who's literally an alien from another planet coming down and being like, hey, I'm not like speaking for humanity. Like as the director's like, but like imagine if an alien came down and saw this. This is what he'd say. It's like, so it's just like whatever the feeling is of the director. And so he wrote and directed it? Did he?
So he co-wrote it,
co-wrote it.
and then directed it on his own.
And you got to think of Mia Khan, who at that point as well, like it still is a massive star, probably has some input into that as well. For him to do it, like this is probably their feelings and thoughts about this told in a very sort of like
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine him
Adjacently.
going into it with a script that was completely out of his
no,
belief
sure.
system. Like,
Yeah,
that would
totally,
be,
yeah.
Yeah, it's I think it's pretty bold, and I really love that about it. And it doesn't, it's not afraid to pull punches and poke fun
Yes.
at organized religion, but not in a way that sort of feels like I'm an edgy teenager who thinks that religion is dumb and everyone is religious.
Not
and
in like a
idiot.
Monty Python sort of way, which I love the way, like when you think something like Life of Brian, right?
Yeah.
Which is very exactly the same thing. It's a comedic breakdown of the like stupidity of certain religion or religious thoughts. But that's very much so making fun of Catholicism and Christianity. It's very much being like, look at this dumb book that has these dumb rules. Some people love it and some people put all their faith in it, but like Monty Python's making fun of it. Whereas this is like almost seems like an intelligent discussion about it in a way. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think it doesn't punch down as much as something like Monty Python
sure,
does.
totally,
And
yeah.
I do like Life of Brian.
I love it.
It's very
It's
funny. It's very
hilarious.
clever.
Yeah.
But it is very much just a punching down on religion.
It's a
whereas-
bunch of British elites being like, we're better than the church.
Yeah. And now you've got John Cleese just complaining that everything's
Too
woke
woke
now,
now. It's
yeah.
woke. Come on.
yeah,
They're
buddy,
making
thanks.
movies like PK these days. It's so woke. Yeah.
too many
Good on you,
brown
John.
people in movies these days. That was John,
John
Cleese.
Cleese.
Yeah.
Don't take that snippet.
But also allegedly. He might have said that. We don't know.
No.
It might not have been John Cleese as well. We don't know. Yeah, legally covered, boys. Well done.
Excellent. But when they started writing this film, on the back of the success of Three Idiots,
Yes.
they realized that they'd basically written Inception.
Oh.
So they originally started writing a film which was about an alien who could get into people's minds and like make them better people.
Oh, like through their dreams and stuff. Right.
And then
okay.
they went and watched Inception and they were like, shit.
That's great. I would love to see the Bollywood version of Inception.
Well, I'm surprised that turned them off. I'm almost like, why didn't?
Yeah.
Could you imagine Inception like in Christopher Nolan style, but just every half an hour there is
Picking out
a
into
super
dance and
on the
dance.
nose, like the lyrics aren't subtle at all.
Yeah,
dance
yeah.
scene.
I didn't think Inception could get better, but I do
Here we
think...
go. We just had our first 6-star movie. How good's that?
Well, Amir Khan did actually star in a remake of Memento.
Oh.
Did
An
he?
Indian remake,
Oh.
yeah.
That's great. Oh, well, now I'm going to watch that. That's brilliant. That's great.
So yeah, they sort of pivoted, sort of, took some of the ideas from that,
Yeah.
and then that became PK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they spent a long time writing this, working on it, but it was worth it because it ended up becoming a massive critical hit.
Oh, wow. Nice.
In India and internationally. It became, one of the highest grossing Indian films of all time.
Yeah,
Oh,
wow.
Both domestically in India and
internationally.
internationally
Yeah,
as well.
wow. That's great. That's awesome.
So yeah, I do wonder what the discourse around this would have been in 2014. Obviously, I was not as into movies as I am now. I wasn't kind of following international cinema and things, but I do wonder if it was almost that kind of triple R level of buy-in, from the international film community when this came out, because it was.
Well, no, it's funny. Well, it's funny you say that because I've just skipped down to controversies here and on the Wikipedia page. There was things lodged against it to stop it from filming because it was hurting religious sentiments.
Yeah, sure.
The poster sparked controversy because it was Amir Khan posing nude with a radio cassette covering his genitals. So they were like, it's full of nudity and vulgarity, even though there is no nudity in the film at all. And yeah, it was pretty much, the Senate clerics of an all India Muslim personal law board demanded the removal of scenes because it was hurting religious sentiments. So it definitely ruffled some feathers, so to say, I guess. Yeah.
Always good when a film has a controversy section on its Wikipedia page. That's how you
love
do it
that.
for some fun.
But it's funny that because then obviously we live in a time where the separation of religion and state, especially in the Western world, seems to be coming more and more, unless you live in America, more and more and more. And it's interesting to see in some other countries as well, where there's a lot more devout religious aspects to it, that the government boards are almost like some of the religious characters we see in the film, where there is this almost higher and mightier than thou approach to be like, you can't see this film because I don't like what it says about my thing. And at the end of the day, it's like, well, everyone has, unless you're outwardly being like, everyone who follows this religion's a fucking idiot. Like, the movie doesn't do that at all. So it's kind of like, just sit back and let everyone who else wants to watch it. Like, that's kind of thing. So it's funny that the thing the movie is criticizing literally was happening to it as well. Because when PK is like going after this like guru, that's his reaction immediately is to like spin to something else. I love the scene where he keeps coming into the church and they're like, they let him talk and then he makes a good point and they're like, oh, quick, just start playing hymns. And then the three ladies are up there trying to like distract everyone. And
it's like the Oscars just playing him off the stage.
Literally is what it's like. So it's funny that this film sparked the controversy that is just like,
I mean, anything
ironic.
with religion is going to.
It's always
isn't
that.
it? Like just watching the
Until,
Scorsese
yeah,
and the
absolutely.
Temptation of Christ. Like I didn't know any of that. I didn't know
Crazy,
there were,
right?
like,
Protests and riots and stuff. Yeah,
bombs
happened
in
with Kevin
cinemas
Smith with
and-
Dogma as well.
So like it's
As soon as you start playing with religion, people get real antsy. But it's like,
Oh, and that's what one of the characters says.
Yes.
The kind of, because sure, we talk about the characters a little bit. Jagu is the woman we were talking about earlier who kind of finds PK and takes him in and sort of helps
she's
him.
a journalist as well, so she's like intrigued by the story.
So she kind of takes him in and helps him to learn how to,
human.
behave like a person.
Yeah.
But realizes that he's got some really good points and wants to help him get his story out there. And then the chief of her sort of news station says, like, we've tried going after religion in the past, and it got me literally with a trident shoved up my ass.
That's right. He's got the
from the
that's right.
from the religious protesters. So like we just don't touch it because you can't go anywhere near it in this country. And that's such a accurate reflection, as we saw with the controversy of the film, of art imitating life and life imitating art. You know what I mean? So it's a really touchy subject, but I think it does it really well. And I think you come away with the message of like, religion inherently is not bad. The issue is with the people.
Yes.
Proselytizing.
yes.
Well, that's why I think there's a difference between
mouthpiece of God.
There's a difference between religion and faith. I think there's a stark difference between the two. You can have faith and you can practice that faith, but once it turns into this like systematic, repressive, like sort of like performative, sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's when you have issues.
Yeah, and that's what PK says. He says, well, we don't need, these god men,
Yes.
You know, and they're followers. We can look after each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, why should we have to look after our neighbor because this book tells us to do it? Why can't we just do it because that's the basic decent human
There's
thing
decent human
to do?
things to do, and it's saying it in a way that's not like, I don't want to see people praying in the streets, and I don't want to hear about I don't want to hear gospel songs. It's just very much just like the basic human connection is just to be a good person to the other person, and it's not that hard. Apparently it is.
It takes an alien to...
Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Tell you what, if PK landed in America, jeez.
Oh man,
They'd
shot.
shot
He'd
him
be
at the
shot on
border.
sight. We'd be getting the perfect neighbor too.
That's true.
The film would have been 5 minutes.
Yeah,
PK
literally.
rocks up, lands in Texas, butt naked.
There's a naked brown man. Kill him. And then it's just like,
Bombs.
whoa.
Roll
Yeah,
credits.
literally. And then Trump's like, we got him. It was very scary, but I did it. I killed him.
He had very big eyes.
He had big, scary eyes. His eyebrows were far too high. I don't think they're real.
This PK guy.
This PK guy, they call him drunk. That's exactly what he is. Also, the movie was not in English. And there's 3 guys who do a podcast about non-English movies. Tariff on that podcast. Anyway.
Terrorists.
Terrorists. These are film terrorists.
Oh, I would put that on my CV if I got caught as a terrorist.
I'm not getting into the US now.
No,
After that,
you're
well,
done. You're done. 100% tariff on you.
100% tariff on me.
Oh, jeez. But I think while it does kind of deal with all these really, pretty serious topics,
Yes.
it never loses its humor.
Or its energy, or its
Yeah.
pace. Like it's
Which in a 2.5-hour film is impressive.
very impressive.
For it to maintain, it has its ebbs and flows. It's not up here all of the time.
Totally, yeah.
But it never sort of loses momentum and loses steam. You're always kind of invested in it. And it got some really genuinely good laughs out of me.
Yeah, totally.
The way that PK keeps referring to churches as, like businesses almost.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, which brand do you work for?
Which brand? Yeah, like, are you, and he keeps like, the idea of prayer is like trying to call the manager of the brand. He's like, he's like, have you got the wrong number? It's like, are you not praying right? Sort of thing.
Yes,
It's very, the parallels that they make.
And there's some really just good general kind of fish out of water stuff as well, like being an alien where he, sees a woman wearing white.
Yeah.
And then he tries to grab her hand and like, oh, what are you doing? You're trying to, hit on a widow. He's like, how do I know she's a widow? It's like, because she's wearing white.
No,
And then he jumps off this bus and then he's standing outside of a church and there's a woman in a white dress about to get married. He goes up to her, he's like, I'm sorry, your husband's dead.
Yes. That was very cool.
Like, what do you mean? Like, he's like, oh, she's wearing white. Like, that means her husband's died. It's like, no, she's getting married. That's why she's wearing white. Widowers wear black. And then he sees some women in burqas wearing all black and he goes up to them and goes, oh, I'm sorry, your husband's dead.
Yeah. There's another really funny scene, and I think it's like proves like the thesis of the film is that he goes outside a university where everyone's about to sit in their exam block, and he puts a rock in a garden, puts red on the rock, and puts a little bit of cash on there. And he's like, just watch everyone walk past and be like, I need good luck for my exams.
Yeah.
This is not even a real spiritual religious thing, and people are there bowing to it, giving money. And then someone's there too long. He's like, "Hey, you're taking too long. Move along."
The difference between
like
regular businesses versus
that's
just
right.
being
Yeah. He's like, there's a good vendor offering warm tea to everyone. That's like genuinely something that's a lot nicer. And they'd much rather give their money to a rock with paint on it. It's very funny, and him just talking about it's great.
But even just like there's a scene early on of him stealing money back from a church donation box.
Right.
Because he wants a refund because
he's
been told that if you go to the church and you pray and you donate, then God will make you whatever your prayers come true.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh well, I paid my fee. I prayed and I didn't get so I'm getting a refund. Goods and services were not.
I just want to point out,
true.
Whoever had the foresight 2,000 years ago to put a sneaky little verse in the Bible to be like, hey, you just go tithe a little bit of cash to the church.
Yeah.
That is elite level of business. That is entrepreneurial spirit like I've never seen before.
Art of the deal.
Art of the deal. That is ancient Trump. That is that's capitalism at its finest, and you can't help but be enenamored by it. It's beautiful. That is foresight. 2,000 years later, people are still donating. Now they have PayPass.
That's it. Instead of like passing around the donation basket, it's just one of those little square regions.
Literally. No, I think that's like
5, 10, 20.
Well. Plus tip.
That's right. Yeah.
Got to include GST.
The old lady holding it, sees you press 5 and she goes,
Yeah, that's right.
I guess the line to
Yeah.
heaven's a little bit longer for some.
It's a really interesting experience for me as well because I didn't grow up religious. Like my parents weren't religious at all.
Right.
I went to state schools. Like we did religious education in primary school.
Which wasn't even like,
No,
I remember.
And even then, I was kind of like, 10. I was like, this feels like bullshit.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
bullshit.
yeah.
You're
Yeah.
bullshitting me, lady.
No, I
Some
get it.
7-year-old woman from the local
Yeah.
church. I'm like, you're full of shit. Aren't
You're
you?
lying to me.
Sounds the same as Santa, maybe.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
What? Oh, sorry.
You forget we're still children, Josh. We're still kids.
We'd have to bleep that.
Yeah, bleep that out.
Yeah, kids are listening to me. You'll love the next episode then. All right.
But so it's really interesting. Like, 'cause I mean, I've always kind of felt, this way about religion is like, and
Sure.
I've never had an inherent problem. It's when you start forcing it upon other people and controlling how other people think and feel
Yeah.
that my issues with religion start.
Right.
If you want to do your own thing in private, whatever,
Totally, yeah.
it's like anything personal. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
don't
Yeah.
be doing it on the street. Don't be doing it in front of kids.
Yeah.
You know, don't.
Don't indoctrinate people.
Yeah.
Either,
As you said, is it really that hard? You know?
Apparently so.
And if your God is so fucking great, why does he need a recruitment team?
Yeah.
That's scaling business. That's just when your business is booming and you got half the world's population, you gotta outsource a little bit. Yeah,
You need some duty
You
managers.
need some duty managers, of course.
Why
Yeah.
has Catholicism got a social media team?
Ooh,
Wink,
this
wink,
feels illegal.
Oh, I hope no one from work.
Yeah, I
listens
know. I was just.
Hi, Tim.
No, that's the Catholic social media trend is the one where they go, ooh, is this legal? But it's like everything that Catholicism does. I feel like we haven't spoken about like the one massive element of Bollywood films, and that is the songs.
Yeah.
This movie has like 4 or 5 like very specific dance numbers that
Yes.
progress the story. I don't know. There's like ones where like PK's kind of falling in love with Jagu a little bit. There's one where what's the one where they're towards the beginning?
It's the first one, I think, is when Jagu meets
Yeah,
the
meets him and-
Pakistani boy.
Pakistani
Yeah.
guy. So they're all
kind of
they're
like a
really about
love.
love.
Yeah.
Yeah, in this
Yeah.
one. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's like
And then
common
there's a
across
really great one because when PK first lands on Earth, he's taken in by like this traveler from a small village who
Yes.
accidentally hits PK with his car,
That's right.
Yes.
and then
yes,
feels
yes.
sorry for him. PK at this point he can't speak because his alien species don't.
He hasn't downloaded
language.
English.
They
yet.
they communicate
Hindi yet.
telepathically.
Yeah.
But he works out that if he holds someone's hand, he can transmit all of their
Yeah.
knowledge to him.
Yeah.
Jagu
It's like
calls
the
him a
human
human
sense
USB
Yes,
cable.
that's right. Yeah, yeah.
So there's a whole song and dance number about him trying to just run around this village, trying to grab people's hands.
That is a funny scene as
to
well.
learn Hindi from them, so that he can communicate.
But everyone's like,
But the old guy from the village who's taking him in just thinks that he's a pervert. And
Yes,
he's
that's
trying
right.
to like hit on and touch every woman
Yeah.
that he sees.
Yeah.
And it's just, like the whole song and dance number is just like my horny pervy friend.
that's right. Yeah, that's
Men, women, he doesn't care. He just wants to touch them
he just
all.
wants to touch them all.
And it's hilarious.
It is
I
very
love it.
funny.
And like the just like the costumes are so bright
It's
and
so
vibrant.
vivid,
and
hey, yeah. And the,
the
dancing,
dancing-
is so fun. Like, I would never be able to dance like that, but the choreography of it all is just super exciting and dynamic. And
I reckon if I
the
get
way it's
enough
shot-
drinks into you at my wedding, I reckon you'll give it a go.
I can't say I won't try. But yeah, and just like the way the camera moves around it, there's one where PK like goes into a water fountain that sprays, and then like obviously it's like missed time and he gets really wet, but then he starts dancing in it, and the way the camera's just flying around it, it's exciting, and it's obviously a staple of Bollywood as
It
well.
is, it
like
is, it
the
is.
song and dance number.
Well,
of
the fact
it.
that
Yeah.
the Garn had them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Again,
Right?
a 3.5
yeah.
hour film about cricket and colonialism.
And they were still,
song and dance numbers. They were probably still very energetic, but it was kind of a more sort of somber series.
Yeah, I was
Good,
going to
especially
say
that
they
colonial
felt,
aspect,
felt
yeah.
a bit different.
This one,
those-
these ones very much have that love focus. Like
Yeah,
that's
But
what,
Three Idiots is very much the same because
Okay.
that is a comedy predominantly.
Sure.
They're still very sort of, energetic and fun and,
Righto.
really colourful.
Yeah.
And just background dancers appearing out of nowhere.
I love it.
I love it.
Yeah.
And I-
Triple R has some huge dance
Well, I
numbers.
remember seeing them perform at the Oscars that
That's
year.
right. That
And
is
they were
cool.
incredible. They were one of the
Yeah.
best bits of the show.
And it's obviously it's just a staple of Bollywood in the sense like if you see that happen randomly in any form of Hollywood film, you're immediately like, what the fuck is this? Unless it's a musical, you're just like, what? So, but obviously,
Well, it's going to be a musical, isn't it?
that's
like,
it.
it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
really going to
They're
be
not going
in
to
a
commit
re-
to the
no,
bit. Yeah,
no.
unless it's like done for like a piss take
A
or
laugh
laughs or
or,
something,
yeah,
right? But
yeah.
like,
And it'll
yeah,
be
I can't
wonderful.
imagine like, shit, what's
The
the movie?
Departed.
When in doubt.
No one's
Yeah,
made The
that's right,
Departed
yeah.
the musical. That's all I'm
yeah,
saying. It's like, I'm not a fucking cop. Like, that's what I think that would be.
I hate
fucking
every cop I see.
yeah.
I mean, shit. With the Muppets as well, this is building bit by bit by bit.
Yeah.
The Muppets Departed musical.
Yes.
So
Starring Mark
I would
Wahlberg.
watch that.
starring Mark Wahlberg and Amir Khan. Fuck it, he's so
He's in.
expressive. He's in. But yeah, I think they're fun. And I think you forgive's the wrong word. I think you accept it more, knowing it's a part of like culturally a part of the filmmaking.
I think you
process
just
and
have to
stuff.
embrace it.
Exactly. Yeah. Totally.
Because
I
it's
think-
just
yeah,
such part and parcel. of
Yeah,
film.
I think you do. I struggle to
Yeah.
embrace it.
Okay.
Like, I am not into musicals.
No.
Yeah. Umbrellas of Cherbourg.
Biopics though. You love
Yeah.
musical biopics.
Yeah,
yeah.
quite like that.
You like
Because it
music.
makes sense when people start singing.
True.
Yeah,
True.
They're recording an album or
See
they're
Springsteen.
onto
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So, just to segue on that, did you
Yeah.
like Better Man?
I did really like Better Man.
Because I
So
would say that Better
it-
Man is more musical than musical.
Yeah.
Because I think about the scene in
And you're right.
that Main Street of London
Yeah.
when
Rock
they're
DJs,
when they're doing the rock DJ
Yeah.
scene. That's a musical.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
It's also a biopic, and it also
He's
has a monkey.
He's a
as the
monkey.
lead.
Yeah.
So
A monkey
is
who does hard
definitely-
drugs.
Yeah.
Monkey snorting
yeah.
cocaine was one of the best
But
films
it is
last year.
weird
People
'cause-
sleeping on it.
because I did really like Lagan.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love Triple R.
Yeah.
I really like Triple R. This struggled with for me.
Okay.
Struggle with the film or just the musical?
The
elements?
film.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So what
I-
about it didn't work for you then?
For me, this is like too cheesy for me.
Yeah.
Mm.
I struggle with comedies when they're over 90 minutes long in a general
Yeah.
space.
Yeah.
So
So,
like laughter.
so to have
More than
2.5
90
or
minutes,
3
yeah.
hour comedies, it's
I can
like,
picture you just like laughing for 90 minutes and then 91 he's like,
yeah,
just off.
Pretty
just
much.
turns
Yeah,
off.
when he gets to the
It's at
91st
about-
minute,
it-
it's like
it-
when Leo's girlfriend gets to 26.
it's about
He's just off it.
yeah, it's at
Yeah.
about 81 minutes and 9 minutes. I'm like, oh,
Oh,
yeah,
you're-
okay, finished. Thank
Yeah.
God, perfect, well done. Yeah.
That's great.
I did keep like I was like, oh, just oh god,
no,
I'm 50
that's-
minutes in. Oh no. I really struggled with the score of this film, which
It
is
has a recurring theme.
So I
that-
felt-
Yeah.
I almost thought I was gonna go to bed last night and dream that I was on a merry-go-round. Yeah, for 3 hours.
Yeah, because it
Yeah.
is almost for the first
It-
sort of half film.
it-
Every time PK shows up,
It's like being
he
in
has
a
like a little
carnival.
theme song.
There is,
yeah, and it's
yeah.
very carnival.
It's very
music-esque.
carnival-like.
There's
Which
prob-
the first few, I'm like, okay, and then,
then it just
2.5
kept going.
hours later, it just I'm like, oh my god,
It
this
did
is.
keep going.
Yeah.
It did.
That
is funny.
I actually struggled with him a bit. The eyes,
Yeah.
like I'm just, and I'm like,
Yeah.
talking off air before. That must have hurt.
Oh,
Yeah, so
Like,
it's
for
very
him to have
physical.
his
he looks
eyes
like he's
open.
got, his eyebrows sort of pinned up the whole time. His
Yeah.
eyes are as wide as possible.
Yeah,
And I read that he tried not to blink at all.
true.
Like in
He
his
doesn't
scenes.
seem to blink. Yeah,
So he's always got his eyes wide open.
Yeah,
He's got
yeah,
his
yeah.
ears kind of pinned forward.
Yeah.
He's like got like big goofy expression on him at all times.
Yeah.
Even the way
whilst
he's
also being
walking
weirdly
is
jacked.
this.
Yeah,
He's like
and
the-
running.
like-
He's
the
like
running with his
out of
arms,
wep-
yeah.
out of weapons.
He's running out of
I'm
weapons.
like, it's weapons.
He's walking.
Doing the Lear.
Yeah, I was.
He's walking like far more optimistic version of Sean Penn in One Battle After Another.
True.
He's got that lockjaw
True,
walk,
true,
but
true.
like I don't think he's a fascist white
No,
supremacist.
Yeah.
My eyes hurt watching his eyes
Yeah,
as well.
that's
Like
right.
it would have been an exhausting performance, like suffering for the art sort of stuff. But
Yeah.
What in all honesty saved the film was probably the last 20 minutes. I actually really
like in
got
the
back into
new
it.
when they're debating on the TV thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
did
then
like
it was really quite emotional, actually.
Very emotional.
And
Yeah.
then the sort of rekindled romance.
Yeah,
I was
The
a bit
reveal of it's
like,
great.
Yeah,
That's
totally.
really sweet.
Yeah,
I like the way it
was.
was
It
filmed
really
too.
was.
I really like the way it was shot
Yeah.
and coloured and edited. Like
Yeah.
it was great.
Yeah.
The phone
Yeah.
call as well, like and how that kind of all
So
connects.
funny.
Yeah,
That to me, like I don't know why this movie pops in my head, and I don't think there's a specific scene about it, but I got a real like Love Actually Richard Curtis vibe from that.
yeah.
Like where
Oh,
all
yeah.
the families around and like they're all watching it and they're like they're in love.
Yeah,
Like, I
yeah.
thought
Yeah,
that
it's
was
very
it
much
was,
the
it was.
ending
Really
of Love
sweet.
Actually,
Yeah.
kind of like, you know, on the stage. Everyone's like, oh, this
Yeah,
is so
true.
nice.
Exactly,
And
yeah,
love is
that's
real.
true.
And-
Yeah.
But it's like it's happening outside of like a reality. Like it's quite it's
and like,
why you
Jagu's
like
relationship with her dad is repaired.
Yeah,
Exactly,
that
yeah.
was really, yeah.
It's beautiful. Like,
Yeah.
it's so corny. I will
Yeah.
100% pay. It's cheesy as
Oh,
all.
Yeah, the
But
whole,
worked.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's,
I was swept up by.
but it works for me in the same way that Love Actually works for me.
Yeah,
the same way that
totally,
I
yeah.
think Coda is a great film.
Yeah.
I think Perks Being a Wallflower is
'Cause
one of
it
the saddest
commits.
things I've ever seen.
It
Like,
commits to it's heightened from the start and it finishes.
is heightened from the
That's
start,
the thing.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I think that's why Love Actually does work. That's why Coda does work, because it's not a movie that's trying to be like in the gritty humanity of it all. It's just like let's just focus on as nice of the stuff as possible, because it's okay to feel nice every now and then.
yeah.
Next month we'll definitely be taking a step back, but like
I think this story can easily be told in 90 minutes.
yeah, it's like a Bollywood staple as
Yeah,
well, right?
I
To have an
mean,
elongated runtime.
That
though.
whole like full midsection was just.
It's very repetitive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Him
And I know
going
he's
back and
kind
forth
of-
out of the church.
And some of the points are great.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the paint on the rock and
Yeah.
like it's a definite.
Mm. Does it seem like one of those things where it's like every idea they had, they're like, we can't just do it all in one scene. He has to
Yes,
discover it, go to the church,
yeah.
discover it, go
Yeah,
to the church.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I see what you mean,
I
for sure.
did think that India, like the population, would have got so much out of this film.
Totally.
Like as
Yeah.
I was watching it, I was thinking like this would definitely make people think.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Well, I mean, it
And the
had
fact
me
that you
thinking,
said
yeah.
like it was the biggest is
a bit of a resonation
interesting,
with
isn't
the
it?
with the,
Yeah, I'll see if I can
populist
find-
mindset.
Currently stands as the 8th highest grossing Hindi film
Okay.
Really?
of all time.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
First Indian film to gross more than 7 billion in whatever their currency.
Oh yeah.
The
okay.
Crone
Crone,
or
yeah.
Cruise or something?
Yeah.
And over $100 million worldwide.
Yeah,
Sorry, I
yeah.
should whistle the mic over that, but like, wow.
100 million US is a good
That's great.
box
Yeah.
office.
That's fucking brilliant.
let alone for an Indian film.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
That's astonishing.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, critically
Wow.
acclaimed as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think I mean like I think deservedly so. Yeah.
Yeah.
really
I think that's the thing that really impresses me, is that it can be clever and funny without sacrificing either for
Mhm.
me. I
Yeah.
think it makes some really great points, but I think it does it in a way that's still really respectful.
Yep.
That
Yeah, it
generates
does.
conversation.
It does.
And it goes, hey, you know, the issue isn't inherently religion. The issue is these, you know, these snake oil
sycophants
salesmen
who- yeah.
who are treating religion like a business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, how about we all just like look after each other a little bit more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of PK's, you know, parting
Yeah,
message to the
yeah,
people
yeah.
of the world.
Yeah.
Is, you know, let's just treat each other, you know, a little bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think is really beautiful.
It
I think
is,
it's
yeah.
nice.
You know, and I say it's like the world's most cynical.
Yeah.
So, would you say then that you don't think it's a good film, or you just don't think it's a film for you?
It's not a film for me.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I can't say that it's a bad
But you don't
film.
think objectively it's a.
No.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
I
no,
think
it's well.
that's so important.
I mean,
to
it's well made.
differentiate.
It looks great.
90% of the costume went to the budget went to the costume.
Did it?
No.
Did it?
No, I'm just
Oh.
completely made that up.
There's a lot going on there.
But I would
There
not be
is.
surprised.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
lot of people, a lot of
Yeah.
set dressing,
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I love, because obviously he arrives on Earth and he's naked, and he realizes pretty quickly that he has to wear clothes because that's what humans do.
Yeah.
And he talks about how he thought that we all just had weird skin.
Skin.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
But then he
yeah.
realizes that it's all fashion.
Yeah.
And so he finds a dancing car,
Yeah.
as he calls them.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm wondering if that's a thing in India, that there's a lot of dancing cars.
I wouldn't be surprised. So the dancing cars are him finding people having sex in the back of a car.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised, because you've got to
Yeah.
think, you know, it's a country where,
Yes.
you know, like premarital sex is probably still very
Especially if
frowned
there's
upon.
Yes,
and
yes,
different
yes.
religions.
Different
like,
religions
Yeah.
and families like living together.
Yes.
You know, with, like,
Yeah.
adults
Yeah, a lot of
and
people
stuff.
in the same house.
So
Yeah.
it's probably the only way you can get a bit of privacy.
Yes. Yeah.
So he works out that if he goes to these dancing cars, it's a very easy way to get money
Yeah.
from people's wallets
Yes.
and clothes.
And clothes
Yeah.
because they're off. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the
Very
first thing he
funny.
does is he gets like a a guy's suit jacket and then like a woman's skirt.
skirt,
So
yeah.
you see him walking down the street. He's like so proud of himself. He's got clothes on.
And then everyone's
And
like,
it
pervert.
pans out. He's got a jacket and a skirt on.
Yeah.
It's just stuff like that. That
Yeah.
really classic, like, you know, person who doesn't understand.
Yeah, it's that
social
fish out of
norms.
water stuff. Yeah.
That's always going to be funny.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
You know, whether it's this or whether it's like Encino Man. You know,
Yeah, absolutely. I haven't thought about that movie in a long time.
I think that's the first time anyone said the words Encino
Encino Man.
in about 10 years.
Yeah, I know it came up on the Whale press tour a few times. I reckon. Yeah. I was like, "We love you, Brendan."
Any other thoughts? Any other feelings? Favorite scenes? I think favorite performance. Amir Khan.
Yeah, he's
for
great.
me.
And then the lady who plays Jagger is really.
I think I liked her.
enigmatic
yeah.
as well. Yeah, I think she's
yeah,
great
yeah,
as well.
she was really good. Yeah.
But no, I would agree with Josh. Like the last 20 minutes, I was very captivated by. I think it's like my favorite dialogue in the film, and you know, I think the setting of having it as like a debate on like this like pulpy talk show sort of thing was a very like interesting idea. So yeah. But no, I think from start to finish, I just really enjoyed the experience in this movie for sure.
Yeah, it's a fun movie.
Yes,
I think you know, like you said, it's going to be your thing or it's not.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to come away from this going like, it was okay. I think you're either going to go, that was a lot of fun, or that is just not my type of film.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah. I had a lot of
Yeah, it is definitely a bit too long, but I think that is just a Bollywood
Oh,
thing.
it is.
Totally.
It is.
You know,
Absolutely.
they don't know how to make a short
Fuck,
film.
Lagan was what 3.5 hours longer.
Yeah.
Triple R's about 3 and a bit hours. Yeah.
Three Idiots. I think again, it's a comedy.
It is about 3 hours.
Yeah, right. So
and
Josh has to watch it in halves.
Yeah.
90 minutes.
Treated as two separate films. You could actually probably do that with Three Idiots, because if I'm remembering it rightly, it does feel like two sort of stories.
Okay.
Kind of set a bit apart from one another.
Right.
There should a business idea is to get these long films,
Edit them down
and specially make series out of them.
I thought you were going to say
It's like when
versions.
It's like when
cut out all the singing and dancing and make them 90 minutes long.
It's like when Netflix released The Irishman, and then people were like, it's too long, so they're like, well, if you watch it in these segments.
Oh, did they?
Which is a fucking cardinal sin.
Yeah. I did really want to watch the Hateful Eight thing.
But at least that's got additional stuff. It's gone now.
Yeah.
It's gone. Yeah.
But if that, because I went to look for it, and I'm like,
but he added stuff to it, if I recall correctly. Right? So it's like, at least it's like
that with Blackberry. So I
they
remember they
do a
talked about
Blackberry
that.
series, or they cut it down.
Yeah, because they obviously did the film, and I think they said they were going to do like a 2 or 3 part mini series with all of the stuff they cut.
Yeah, such a good. I'd love to see more of that stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, that was great.
Great film.
Great
film.
Glenn Howerton just chewing the scenery.
Oh yeah, more of that.
Should we get into some star ratings then?
Sounds good.
Josh, I think you're going to be the lowest, so do you want to kick us off?
I'll give it 3. I'll give it 3. Yeah. Definitely the ending kind of got me. Yeah. If that had fell flat, I think it would have been probably half a star lower.
Yeah.
But like you sort of said before, it's not a bad movie. It's not badly made. It's just not my thing.
Sure.
So I can't really give it anything lower than a 3.
Yeah, I think that's fair. That's subjective.
Yeah.
And subjective.
Nick?
4. I had a real fun time.
Nice.
I had a real fun time with this movie.
That's awesome.
Did not expect it.
Yeah.
I put it on and I was like, I'm watching it for the show. And then about 20 minutes in, I was like, I am digging the fuck out of this. And I really I admittedly, I watched it in 2 parts. Like I watched first half one night, and then yesterday morning I watched the second half. But I don't think I could have stayed if it wasn't 11 o'clock at night. I could have watched the rest of it.
How nice is that though, that when you're watching a film, for whether it's this podcast, another, or because it's sort of been, recommended by someone, and you're not that,
keen, but you're going to check it out.
Yeah.
And then you go, actually, no, this is great.
For sure.
It's such a nice
100%.
feeling.
Yeah.
And we've done stuff on the podcast where I've been, you guys have picked something like, not really my sort of thing. And then I've gone, actually, no, this is...
Lagan
awesome.
Probably was for me.
Yeah.
And then that, I just loved that movie. Yeah. We could not believe how much we enjoyed that
and
movie.
That was a long ass
movie.
That
was a long movie. Yeah.
I remember setting a day aside for that one.
Yeah,
that's right. I was like... Clear the calendars.
Not quite as long as You the Living, but...
Very much so.
I think part of me is still watching You the Living.
There's a dead part in the back of his brain that hasn't stopped thinking about it.
I'll tell you what, though, I haven't stopped thinking about it, and credit to that film.
Okay.
Credit to the film.
I love that you've given it a 4. I'm going to go 4 as well.
Yeah, how nice. Great.
A lot of fun with it. Really, really funny. It got some, probably the most I've laughed in a film in a while.
Yes. Yeah.
Some really funny moments, and just even bits that weren't, obviously the really obviously funny bits. But even just those little things, like when he, would go into a church and kind of do that, like, oh, I want to talk to your manager.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah.
It's just little stuff like that. It was like, that's funny.
Yeah.
Amir Khan is amazing. I've loved him in everything I've seen him in. This is probably, I think, maybe his weakest performance, but obviously it's very
interesting. Yeah, right.
It's a tough.
It's he's playing a character.
Yeah,
very much so.
I mean, watching him, there was a point that a quote from Tropic Thunder definitely entered my mind.
I think I know the one you mean.
And you should never go full alien. I was like, I'm not sure he should have gone full alien.
Well, that's the tagline for this episode, sorted.
Don't go full alien.
Never go full alien.
Never go full alien.
I'm going as Les Grossman to a New Year's Eve party this year. I just bought the costume. Yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
I'm
you
learning,
got the fat hands?
I'm learning the dance. I got the hair. I've got all the
big hands.
I can't wait.
Oh, that's
is that because you were told you weren't allowed to go to as Robert Downey Jr. or?
Yeah.
They can't tell me what to do. I'm just a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
It's I think it's just a lot of fun, but his performances in Lagan I think are better. And I do, even though it is longer than this, I do really, really recommend 3 Idiots. Because if you liked this, I think you'll really like 3 Idiots. And even though you didn't necessarily like this, I think you might vibe with that maybe a little bit more.
Okay.
Maybe just watch it in 2 halves.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun, very similar. Amir Khan plays a similar sort of character. He's like set at a college. He's sort of like a prankster who, doesn't, deal with authority and just wants to go to college to have fun and teach kids how to rebel and all this sort of stuff. And he's just great in it. He's so charismatic. He's so energetic, and like the emotions that he can do with his face in that is just stunning. But I still think Lagan is that's peak Amir Khan for me. What a babe.
Yeah, mate, he is jacked. He's a dude.
Wow,
I get it.
Buff
He's
to
a
the
star.
teeth.
Yeah, he's a fucking star.
We're going to talk more about people being buffed to the teeth in the next episode.
Oh fuck yeah, we are. Well, since we're there, Speaking of,
yes. So that was PK. That was my pick. Very much mixed bag of results, but I still think a 4, 3, and a 4 is.
Yeah, I think it's pretty strong.
Yeah,
I think absolutely. Yeah,
and I think if it sounds like your kind of thing, definitely watch it. It's on Netflix in Australia, which is great. I love a film that's easily accessible.
Yeah.
Nick.
Hey.
Sometimes you just got to pick what you got to pick.
Sometimes
and then figure out how you're going to watch it later.
Yeah, literally.
You got to do.
Literally.
Nick, what are we going to be talking about on our next episode?
My pick for the next episode of That 1 Inch Barrier is a film that garnered controversy due to graphic depictions of violence, sexual assault, and cruelty. Was subject to censorship and even banned in several countries.
That does not surprise me.
And it's not my sex tape. A 2001 Japanese, so we're going back to Japan, Japanese Yakuza splatter film. From a director who I think is like the punk rock director of Japan in the early 2000s, Takashi Miike.
Yeah.
And that is Ichi the Killer.
Nice.
If you thought you were having a nice, fun time, you just fucking wait till next month because it's getting gross. And I cannot wait. I'm so glad well, Josh, I heard you watch it. Part of me was just like, I just need Kieran to see this movie.
So what you're suddenly discovering is this podcast is just an excuse for my co-host to bully me.
Literally at this point, are you the living in Ichi the Killer? We are putting you through
now that we know.
And then he brings PK to us, and I'm like, I loved it. It was great. Thank you so much. This is my repayment.
Right, just for this, I'm picking another Jacques Demy film.
But yes,
just umbrellas of Cherbourg again.
Yes, in black and white.
In half speed.
Extended cut.
Oh, God. But yes, Ichi the Killer on the next episode of That 1 Inch Barrier.
Jeez. Cool. That episode is just going to be 50 minutes of bleeps.
Literally. What can we say about that film? You will find out.
If we were monetized, we would definitely get demonetized.
That's next.
It's like 40 chess. If you don't have a big enough audience to get ad revenue, then you can't get demonetized.
Say what you want.
Amazing. Well, that is going to be next month's episode. But as always, thank you so much for watching, for listening. We really appreciate having you guys here, and we really appreciate being able to talk about movies with each other.
Oh, we
Yeah.
do. This is good fun.
As always, we'll be back next month, but until then, you can catch our links in the description. You can follow us on Instagram, on Letterboxd. You can subscribe to us on YouTube. Check us out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. All that fun stuff. And we will see you next time for Nick's pick of Itchy the Killer. See you then.